walk straight into that line of fire. But the next map, like I say, it's going to be some CTF on Dome. And, you know, this is looking very good for Optic Gaming right now.
You know, it's looking very good for Optic Gaming. Like I said, that is an incredibly talented team. These guys have got their communication on point. They win the majority of their gun battles, and their strategies are just superb. And it's just so hard to play against them. Every single European team we've spoken to said, these guys, somehow they found another level. But Europeans are still shocked when they come over and give them these sort of games.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. And the funny thing is, after speaking to some of the European teams that have played, some of the American teams that have come over, their comments are simply, we are playing exactly how we think we should play. And if we play against if we play like how we did there against any other European team, we would smash them. Yeah, you know, coming up against these American teams, and to their credit, you know, it isn't just Optic Gaming. Envy have come over. They look very, very strong indeed. We can't knock them out. Leverage, obviously, that was the game I casted last night. Optic versus Leverage. I mean, there was only, what, one flag, one round, one flag between those two. So hard to separate. So let's not forget about them. They are actually in the losers bracket, but I've definitely called it. They are going to power straight through that losers bracket, and it wouldn't surprise me if we saw them in the final later on today.
You know what? I think the game everybody here is waiting to see. Everybody's waiting to see Optic versus Envy.
At LAN.
Everybody wants to see them at LAN. Both of these teams have got a little bit of a rivalry going on.
Oh, yeah.
They haven't lost this year.
Can you imagine if we didn't get to see it? Everyone would be so good, wouldn't they?
We will see it. I will call it right now. We're going to see that game. Both them teams are going to meet up very much later on, but we will definitely see that game. Neither of them teams are going out.
To be honest, I do agree, but I can't write out Leverage. I mean, they looked so strong yesterday from what we saw. Their loser bracket isn't as difficult as it could be, so it wouldn't surprise me if they maybe made it all the way to the grand final later on. But, you know, that's what tournaments are about. We're going to see. But in terms of this CTF Dome, Optic Gaming have got off to a great start. Big Timer getting a kill, as does Scumpy. And we're on board with Rambo just making his way towards the front door as H2K do get 2 kills. And, oh, wow, Realize going in there, making a 2-piece. But Rambo has infiltrated the enemy base, does take down LukeJS, getting heavily stunned. And Realize jumping back to take down the third.
Yeah, Realize completing all that Optic pressure. But you know what? This CTF Dome, it's always a really good map to watch because it can go back and forth very quickly with a short run time. But you know what? Scumpy obviously banging out that AR. Can he pick up this? He smashed him off that head glitch, but gets picked up by Legend.
That was a fantastic play there by Scumpy, but he did actually get dropped to weak default over to Rambo, who takes down Legend and Chaos. Nice play from him, although opting to turn around, does get stunned. And this is the problem he's going to have. He knows there's going to be a player probably right at the back of the corridor. There he is, as Realize picks off a 2-piece, but Big Timer does put an end to that. Rampage.
Wow,
Scumpy with
Scumpy shutting them out now, and it looks like this flag is going to be pulled away. I think, did he get in there or did he get taken down? There he is, there's Big Timer. Scumpy now going through them, and it looks like they are manipulating the spawns. This is something this team is very good at.
Yeah, that was a really smart play, but Realize is going in right now, shutting down Optic once again. And, that's actually 4 Optic players down. So right now, H2K, they can just take their time. They're not going to pull a flag in this short amount of space, but what they can do is they can infiltrate the left-hand side loading bay, get out of their spawn, get some map control, and try and shut Optic Gaming down.
Yeah, you know what? Optic now going to be on the defensive, and that's where, you know what, H2K need to put them. They need to put some pressure on Optic and try and break them out of this routine. And you know what? That was a big play from H2K because this means they don't have to go on the defensive. They stop that flag runner. But wow, there goes Chaos. He does get picked up by Merc, unfortunately. But you know what? Huge advantage now. 2 of them are down.
Yeah, it's exactly what we were saying before. H2K now, they have complete control of that loading bay side, so they're making Optic defend. Optic they can't obviously leave their flag, they can't overextend, they can't go up that top mid or go through the underground on the left-hand side. They have to try and get some more map control, push outside this loading bay, but it seems like Chaos and LukeJS getting that 2-piece as well. That's going to leave Big Time all by himself. He is inside the dome area, jumps, takes down 1, tries to take down the second, but gets shut out, and it wouldn't surprise me if we saw that flag pulled, but Merc is there, he gets double stunned himself after throwing the stun, but picks off Realize with that Semtex. That was great play from Merc.
Oh, wow, he turned on him as well.
That was
a 3-piece. He's gone in. Merc, stop this flag.
What have we just witnessed? Merc going on an absolute rampage, but unfortunately he does actually get dropped, but that 3-piece was sensational. I mean, Scumpy now, it's his turn. He takes down Chaos with a headshot, dropping Legend as well off a head glitch, but that flag is actually off base. As you can see, Optic Gaming desperately trying to rush and try and get that return, but everyone getting heavily stunned. But I think what Optic are going to do is they're just going to wait for, obviously, that 30-second automatic return. They don't need to go for it. They can just try and get that map control. But Merc, that 3-piece was sensational, wasn't it?
Max up there, but the Chaos with another 2-piece, but Scumpy is there once again. Scumpy, just, you know what, every time they try and push, he's stopping this pressure. Merc, the AR is doing fantastic work to just deflect everything H2K throw at them.
Yeah, nice play. And now you can see Optic Gaming once again. They have this right-hand side under complete control. Scumpy just trying to make sure he doesn't get rushed on that loading base side, as it seems 2 H2K players are inside loading. And Scumpy just going to take his time. There's one nice play, taking out Chaos. There's Realize. He gets the second as well with a nice headshot. Goes for the pre-fire on the third. He's not going to find him just yet. And he opts to see if anyone else is going to be on that tank area. But he should be okay for now, and we might see him push in.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how he actually backs out of loading base. Instead of pushing in the advantage, he makes sure that every other way is clear so they can set up properly.
Yeah, but 1 minute 12, time is running out as it stands. No flags have been capped. We default now over to Rambo, who sees one pushing out. That was Legend. Nice play coming from Rambo. Can he try and push in? He has just seen someone as well. Good play taking down Chaos. And once again, I think what we're going to see now from Rambo is maybe just wait to see if his teammates are in support. But there was one more player. That was Luke JS inside that loading area. But Scumpy's got top dome. Takes down Realize that he knows there's going to be a few more. He has just seen throwing those stuns. And they're not actually going to connect either, so he is going to have to push and be a little bit more aggressive, taking out Luke JS, jumping the corner, turning around for the pre-fire, did connect. Scumpy just showing sheer intelligence there of knowing where the enemy team are going to be.
Yeah, pre-fire completely, and he just pulled it on. There we go. Scumpy's on a tear right now as he goes for this flag. He has actually been stunned, though, and this looks like it might be in a little bit of trouble. Are his team with him? Has he got the backup? Can he try and get in here? Last chance to pull a flag on this map.
This is just standard Optic Scumpy, isn't it? But actually, having said that, Legends pulled that flag, and Scumpy is in a good position, but he gets shut down by Luke JS. But Rambo was at hand to take down Legend, but that flag is yet to be returned. Big Timer taking down Realize, and Rambo now jumping around that corner. He's going to get that return. So with 10 seconds left, this first side of CTF Dome is going to end 0-0. But let's not forget an interesting little fact about Optic Gaming on Dome. EGL7, they actually dropped this map, and I believe they may have dropped it earlier on in the tournament as well.
Ah, so not their strongest side, but you know what? I actually think Rambo hit him through the wall there. When we flick back on,
yeah, he was inside Dome, so yeah, he's gone for an elaborate wallbang. So that shot from Rambo is clutch.
It is clutch, but it's like I said. The problem is now is that Optic are actually on what is considered the better side. They're gonna, you know what? H2K have got their work cut out to try and keep the scoreline in their favour.
Completely agree. Obviously, the side Optic are on now. All you need to do realistically is hold that loading bay side. If you can hold that corridor sufficiently, no one is getting in, let's be honest. As Rambo gets an early barrel kill on Realize. Legend and Chaos both picking off 2 kills though, as Legend does push in, but there was Scumpy lying on the floor to shut him down.
Yeah, there we go. Back on board with Luke JS, as he looks like he's just playing a defensive. He knows he needs to defend now. His team are not ready. They need to make sure that Optic don't come screaming at them. And they go, Scumpy picking up another kill. Oh, well, you know what? It looks like they're just trying to hold this loading base side, and Optic are just saying no every single time. Scumpy hasn't died in so long.
H2K do have the control as he does shut down Scumpy. Rambo jumps the corner though, and this is where we're going to see the control completely flip. As you saw H2K, they had control of that loading base side. They were pushed up all towards the enemy spawn. As Legend, nice play, taking down Rambo with the nade. But Merc was there to pick off that 2-piece. Luke JS trying to get that Semtex. That's not going to connect. But this is the problem H2K now have. They have to absorb Optic pressure and also try and concentrate on breaking out on that loading base side.
Yeah, this is the most difficult thing because you've got to make sure that you don't overextend. You don't go and try and push out too hard and break the spawn trap. Because if you do that and they pull the flag away and hold you, that's it. It's a game over. It's flag capture.
Yeah, completely agree. Legend is doing some work though, as Realize also takes down Big Time. We'll get on board with Legend. He does get shut down by Scumpy on the ramp, but that's actually 3 Optic players down. And this is now H2K. They need to be pushing as Chaos takes down Merc as well. So that is now going to give H2K license to completely set up on this right-hand side. They're going to have to try and predict where Optic have spawned, but Rambo seems to have got a very lucky spawn spawning inside that little room.
Yeah, like I said, there we go. I think it's that spawn manipulation that we seem to do, but Luke JS is actually picking up 2 of them now, giving H2K a license to actually try and push in and try and get this flag. There's 2 of them going for it. What can they do now?
Yeah, lots of stuns being engaged. So Optic have obviously got a spawn, but Legend takes down Scumpy. He gets the 2-piece, shutting down Merc as well. And that is going to be 3 Optic players down. Flag has been pulled. Realize a little too close there to Luke JS, if I'm honest. But Luke is going to have to just drop back to see if any Optic players are rushing it. Obviously, there was just 1 Optic player up, and they're going to know that.
I think it's Big Timer. H2K takes
Realize 3-piece, let's go.
He is going to put this flag in for his team. Wow. Unbelievable play. He has shut Optic out, and we could see Optic in an awful lot of trouble now.
Wow, that was fantastic play right there from Realize, getting that 3-piece. Very, very nice play. We're on board with Legend now. He's trying to make his way in loading bay. Gets shut down by Big Timer. As we default now over to Luke JS. Chaos gets 1 kill. Can Luke get this? If he gets this, that's going to be another 3 down. Flag has been pulled. That would have been 4. But Merc doing a great job for his team there, shutting him down.
You know what, Optic now on the back foot. H2K, don't get too overconfident, but also don't go too big. Realizes on an absolute tear as he takes another, but Scumpy answering back in turn. But they've got to be careful here. Don't get too overconfident. Don't push out too hard.
Yeah, they need to just stay calm. They need to keep doing exactly what they're doing. I mean, they have Optic Gaming in a great position, 1-0 up against them in this CTF Dome. and there's only 2 minutes still to play. The problem is that you can't go too defensive. If you go too defensive, you're just going to get absolutely destroyed. You're going to get 4 down, and Optic are going to pull a flag. At the same time, you can't be too aggressive going for that second flag, because the same thing's going to happen. You're going to get 4 down, you're going to get spawn trapped. So they need to find that perfect balance now of aggression and defense, and that seems to be what Luke.js is doing very well, as he gets a nice shot off at Merc on that tank area, just going to pre-aim this loading room. But is he going to find anyone just yet? There is Big Timer jumping out, but the important thing is H2K now have that time to rush out of their base every time they spawn, but Scumpy has actually just shut that down, so now realize it's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Turns Scumpy with the 2-piece, and this is where H2K now have a lot of problems.
Yeah, they need to make sure they absorb this pressure. Could be the turning point here. Can Optic break in? There you go, Merc taking down one, Ray taking down another, Merc taking down a second. Where is he? Realise he's got to do something. Can they get away? He's going for the wall bang, and no. That is a way that is bad positioning now. They're going to be in an awful lot of trouble. He needs to do something.
That was really nice play there by Rambo as well. He just made sure that Realize could only focus on him, but to his credit, Realize has done very well. That flag has gone in for Optic, but Realize now has that map control. That was very important. He had to try and make sure that there was no Optic Gaming spawn trap. If Optic got them spawn trap, that's not just going to be one flag, that's going to be 2, maybe 3. And unfortunately, Realize does get shut down by Rambo, but 47 seconds left of this second side. CTF Bootleg Legend currently going inside this loading bay. If he makes that 2-piece, that would have been very nice, but unfortunately, Scumpy does shut him down. And as it stands, this is going to go to stopwatch.
It is going to go to stopwatch. You know what? This does actually seem like one of Optic's weaker maps. I said they have dropped this map before at this tournament. They've dropped it, you know what, today, I've heard. Well, not today. I believe it was yesterday earlier, but it's going to be interesting. What can they do?
I was just pointing out, Scumpy just wallbanged that. Scumpy was on the top mid platform, and he just shot straight through the blue tarpaulin, but that's actually 4 Optic players down, and H2K now can afford to push with 15 seconds left. Can someone pull the flag in time? Doesn't look like they're going to be able to do it. As Scumpy gets a lucky spawn as well. So this map's going to go stopwatch. And Bryce, do you want to explain to anyone that isn't aware exactly the rules of stopwatch?
Yes, it does sound more complicated than it actually is, but basically it boils down to the fastest flag cap. And basically both teams will restart this map. Yep. They'll restart this map and they'll go straight back into it. When the first team captures a flag, the game will end. They'll swap sides, and then the other team has how long it took to capture a flag faster to win.
Yes. It sounds very, very complicated if you're new to competitive gaming, but to be honest, it really isn't that difficult. It's just, like you say, the simplest way of explaining it is the fastest flag cap wins. And H2K, to their credit, you know, right in that game, they never once looked like a complete underdog. They played how they would normally play. They played with the perfect amount of aggression mixed with control, self-discipline, which is always important when you come up against a team like Optic. It's so easy to get too excited, overextend, and get 4 down, and there go Optic with 2-3 flags.
Well, we're going to wait for them to restart this. There we go, Merc restarting this map now. And going to see how they play stopwatch. No team really practice stopwatches because it doesn't come up all that often when you scrim. Yeah,
that's something that's actually a very valid point. I mean, I spoke to quite a few pros before this tournament trying to get EGL8 research. An interesting little fact about Scump there. You can go follow his Twitter. It's at Optic Scumpy. I'm sure he'd appreciate the followers.
EGL5's MVP.
MVP, and you know what? When you see Scumpy back-to-back 2-pieces all the time, making those clutch kills as well, it's always important. You understand why he gets MVP so much. I mean, the guy, he's a nice guy as well, which is always important. He isn't egotistical one bit. And, you know, he's playing like a boss right now.
He is good. He is good.
Potential MVP in the making.
People think that he's the best player in the world as well.
Oh, I would agree. I don't think there's anyone at this moment, considering LAN results and how they played at LAN, that could beat Scumpy in an MVP battle right now. Personally, that's just my personal opinion. However, there's quite a few players from Envy that are they've come here to try and put an end to Scumpy's reign as MVP. But back on terms of the game, we are going to be on board with Optic Gaming on this first side. And as you say, this is now stopwatch. And it's going to be essentially the quickest flag wins.
Yeah, like I said, it'd be interesting to see how the two teams play this. Are you going to try and hold off on the more defensive side? You've got to actually, you know what, it's easy to get a flag in, but you know what, it's difficult because you want to get flag fast, but you also want to try and make sure you don't overextend. You don't want to really lose the flag, but then you've got to try and pull out all the stops.
Yeah, absolutely. Big time, a really intelligent play. Taking down Chaos, now can afford to actually push it in towards this loading bay. Ruby's going to see one more, gets to the hit by, takes down Legend. There wasn't another player just sat in that corner, but Scumpy looks like he spawn kill realized now actually opting to push that front door, throwing that Semtex towards the left. Where is that H2K play? It wouldn't surprise me now if Scumpy's going to be very sneaky, and he's going to go for the spawn kill from inside the enemy base as he has the support of Merc, who's actually pulled that flag, and Optic Gaming looking to not mess around one bit as Merc with that flag does get stunned, but Scumpy's going to just drop back and make sure there's no H2K players trying to rush straight behind him. Yeah,
you know, it looks like they are actually doing a very, very slow flag run. They'd rather get it in than be fast, so you know what, they're trying to hold it there. His team's trying to get in a good position to shut H2K out so they don't have a problem, but here we go. It looks like, oh wow, Scumpy picking up that kill for his teammate there.
Yeah, it was an important kill, but the problem they've got now is obviously there was only 2 players left alive though. There was Merc and Scumpy, and whilst all that commotion, H2K have just overextended. They pulled that flag, and Scumpy now needs to stay exactly where he is in case that flag got away, but that is not actually going to matter anymore. Both flags go down. Scumpy now has to flank back towards the enemy spawn and just either try and go all the way back through loading, pick up that flag, or wait for the flag to be returned and then pull it. And that's exactly what he's going to have to do now. You see him immediately turn around. Rambo picks up a 2-piece. Scumpy's going to have to try and pull that flag, but Realize picks a 2-piece of his own, shutting down Merc and Big Timer, and we have a stalemate in the making.
Yeah, are we going to see a stopwatch stalemate?
We could do. That's how it's looking right now. Scumpy's making his way back towards those satellites. Does get double stun though, immediately turning around just to make sure he doesn't get rushed, but Merc is in support. And this is the problem I have with this satellite area is, for Scumpy, this is very, very dangerous. It's only going to take a few nades, but Legend and Chaos both picking off a kill each on Big Timer and Merc. Rambo needs to try and get himself closer to Scumpy, as that isn't going to matter as he shuts down Chaos, and Big Timer spawns in right next to him.
Yeah, it looks like they now have this locked down, but you know what would you do in this situation? You know you need to capture flag, you know you need to capture it fast.
Yep, I mean, as time goes, you start thinking, you know, is it even worth us capping the flag? That's a question that many pros ask. You know, when it gets down to the last minute, essentially you're just giving your opposite team 4 minutes to cap a flag.
Yeah.
So,
Which
I mean,
is a long time to absorb pressure.
It is a long time to absorb pressure, but obviously we can't forget that in that 4 minutes you could go ahead and cap the flag yourself and effectively cap the flag both sides and win. That's also another...
That's an instant win.
Yeah, that would be an immediate win. However, you know, digging in for 4 minutes is a long time to try and defend, like you say, Bryce. Scumpy, nice shots there on Realize inside that dome area. But H2K, it wouldn't surprise me if they maybe just dug in right now.
Yeah, maybe, but like I said, they are on the slightly better side, so neither team is going to want to give this flag away because a flag is still going to be a flag. It does put you at an advantage, but it's difficult. I don't know if either flag is going to get away here.
Doesn't look like it right now. LukeJS taking down Rambo. We're still on board with Scumpy. We'll go ahead and change play, see if anyone is actually being a little bit more aggressive. We're on board now with Big Timer. So he looks like he's just actually defending Scumpy. He's in no way inclined to push further forward. Ooh, I like this strategy from Merc. This is nice.
Sees one. Where is the other one? He did see him, and wow, gets that kill. Very, very easy.
Can he get the third? Ooh,
wow.
A few shots fighting. He is going to pick off the third. Oh, did he hit that?
I don't think he did.
Oh, that was close. He got a lot of hit markers, but you can hear the comms right now from Optic Gaming. Merc just on those spawns right now. That flag has been returned. Scumpy needs to try and get himself closer. He has Merc in support top down. He shuts down Legend, and the flag has been counterpulled. Once again, Merc needs to look down underneath him. But where's that flag actually gone? He's actually
in bunker. It's in bunker again. You know what? They didn't manage to get it in a very defensible position, and I think that's what's actually stalling H2K right now. Usually, if you can pull it into your main building, keep it in corridor, you can just cover both choke points. But when you're in bunker, they have quite a varied option of how they want to get there.
Yeah, that was a good play there by Optic Gaming. But unfortunately, it did get shut down right at the end. However, LukeJS picking off a 2-piece. Rambo needs to make that kill. He does just that. And is he actually going to flank back and get the flag? It looks like Merc's actually going to do that. So Rambo needs to cover Merc for a little bit. 42 seconds left. This is going to benefit Optic Gaming massively.
There we go. Rambo's going for it. Will he just rush it now? He knows there's not a lot of time left. Is he just going to go for this flag? There he goes. He got stunned, but no, gets shut down himself. And you know what? It's going to just go into the second half of stopwatch by the look of it.
Yeah, it looks like neither team's actually going to cap that flag. Big Timer just cycling through to his own spawn to see where Merc is. And nice stun, but Scumpy's going to be there to shut down Legend anyway, so that isn't going to make any difference. But even so, I mean, if either team conceded with 15 seconds left, that essentially gives you a whole other side to try and cap a flag. It's not going to be a close stopwatch like we saw Prophecy have yesterday, where it came down, you know, one team capped in 40 seconds, the other in 35. It basically came down to 5 seconds. It was ridiculously quick. But first side of stopwatch ends 0-0 thanks to a stalemate. And Optic looked pretty happy with that.
Yeah, I would be happy too, but you know what? Both these teams just seem very, very close. There's no, you can't split these two teams on this map. So, what are they going to do on this second half? It's just a flag. You just need a flag. That's it.
The question for H2K is, like you say, this is now considered the bad side of Dome for CTF. So, I mean, how are they going to play? Are they just going to go ruthlessly aggressive, or do you reckon they may go for a stalemate and have another stopwatch, a back-to-back stopwatch? That's a complete possibility right now.
Well, in fairness, as we did see, they actually pulled the flag on this side. Realised did have to go huge. They just do it. Oh wow, just continually spraying. He was scared of a bad time to reload there,
wasn't it?
Yes, it was a bad time to reload. But there we go. What are they going to do here? How are they going to play this strat? They're just going to try and get map control, play it standard. They know they only need one flag. Oh, H2K with a panic knife.
Yeah, Merc is just getting back-to-back 2-pieces all the time. very, very consistent. Just quick, bring up the scoreboard in this stopwatch. Merc 12-5. I mean, we saw him go top dome on that last side, and he was just annihilating every H2K player straight off spawn. But we're on board with Chaos. He's thrown that nade into Buckrack. That isn't actually going to connect. And you see, this is the thing that's going to start playing in H2K's mind now is, 4 minutes left. It just went 0-0. They were on the good side. I mean, did they want to just dig in? It's going to be a question they're going to start asking themselves very, very soon. Maybe not so much right now. I think what we're going to see is them play counter. Wait for Optic to push out exactly like that, as Luke JS does take down Rambo, and now he can actually push into the loading room and just try and dictate where Optic spawn. If they can get Optic spawning underground, H2K are going to be in a great position.
You know what? I have a question, Benson.
Yes.
I have a question. What happens if it goes to 0-0 again?
We have another stopwatch.
We have another stopwatch. I've never seen it. I've never seen a double stopwatch.
I have never seen back-to-back stopwatch, but it could be a possibility depending on how H2K play it. If they're aggressive enough, which it looks like they might be, as Legend takes down Scumpy with a nade. However, Rambo and Merc immediately put a stop to it, and that flag has been pulled by Rambo as well. The question is, where has Rambo run? If he's run it towards this loading bay side, that's good.
He's run it. That means he's locked down.
They know exactly
Luke JS is going to have to do something. He has to do something. Where here is his team? He has to push in. This could go in right now as Rambo gets closer and closer to the home.
Oh, that's a huge play by Chaos, shutting down Rambo with the nade. Also taking out big time, there's only one Optic player left. That's Merc, who's right at the back of his flag. Oh, Legend, he runs in. He takes down Merc. This is going to be a flag run right now by H2K. Has the support of Chaos. They need to try and make sure Optic do not spawn in loading, and I'm not entirely sure why Legend is running straight through the middle. They're going to spawn underground. That's a crazy run. That was a bad call. Oh, H2K had that flag. If they'd rushed outside loading, they weren't sure if Optic were going to spawn inside that loading room or not, but Chaos was in support. If H2K had run that straight outside loading bay, that would have been a flag cap against Optic Gaming.
Yes, it would have been, but this is going to be a counter cap. It looks like they're on that flag right now, but it's actually in a bad position. They've got to come around the other side of that pillar to get it.
Yeah, H2K can just leave that flag, but it has been returned as this could be a three-piece. No, so unfortunate from Legend. Big time, it is on that flag. Chaos has managed to get himself into the enemy spawn with 2 minutes 19.
Is this the right call now? Is he's just going to wait?
Oh, he hasn't waited long enough, but he does take down Merc and Ops to actually counter-pull the flag. Smart play there. He has his two teammates in support. It looked like we may have seen a bit of the famous Gataga spot knife go on, but he decided, play your cards safe. They're 2-0 down in maps in a best of 5. They can't afford to do a careless play like that, but Chaos has that flag. Needs to try and get himself out of the enemy spawn. Merc picking off another two-piece there with the explosion, but Chaos has done fantastic to get himself out, and he's going to try and throw that stun towards Dome. There is an Optic player there, and Chaos needs to find him where he is. He's in that red crate and shuts down Rambo. That's an important kill right there, but we're seeing another stalemate. But actually, there's only one Optic player left. That flag has been down. Can they get the return? They can. H2K are going to take that. Wow, nice play by H2K.
Unbelievable. Bit of a shock there. Like you said before, maybe this is a bogey map for Optic.
Optic do not like CTF Dome. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, we've seen them drop it a fair few times at EGL. And H2K, they've got themselves in this game now. Now the question is, will the momentum carry for H2K? We're going to see the next map. That's actually going to be Search and Destroy C-Town. Now, if H2K can have that momentum, carry it through into the next Search and Destroy, we could see a 2-2. Optic could be in trouble. Yeah,
like I said, the score here now 2-1 to Optic versus H2K Gaming going into this Search and Destroy. Optic, I think we are taking a very, very quick break here. I think one of the players has just had to go to the toilet. The excitement too much for him.